CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
A former Global TV reporter in Vancouver has pleaded guilty to sexual assault involving a minor. Former Global crime reporter Ron Benzie pleaded guilty to one count of sexual assault. The 45-year-old father of three appeared in provincial court in Surrey this morning. The Crown says he sexually assaulted a boy over a 7-year period and recommends a prison term up to 3 years. Also that Benzie be placed on the sexual offender registry. Benzie's lawyer is asking the judge for house arrest of 18 to 24 months. The victim, who is now 16 years old, cannot be identified, but his victim impact statement was shared in court today. He wrote, "I feel that I have missed out on a childhood that was meant for me and not the tainted one that I have experienced." Benzie's defense lawyer shared his client's statement. The former Global reporter said, "I don't think there is anything that I can say that would alleviate the anger and sense of betrayal, but simply I'm sorry. I truly regret what I have done." Benzie was charged last year with numerous counts involving sex offenses against young teens, allegedly between 2001 and 2011. Rescuers have now recovered the body of a third victim killed when her family's home was leveled by a massive landslide in the COURTENAY community of Johnson's Landing. The coroner says the body of 17-year-old Rachel Weber was pulled out of the debris last night near the front of what had been their family home. Rescue crews resumed their search after the land was determined to be stable and safe enough. The bodies of Weber's father and older sister were found in the same area last week, but the search for a 64-year-old German woman has ended.
We will not be revisiting the site where the Freeze household was. The impact of the slide in that area was devastating. We excavated a very large area last week around where that house had been and have determined that there is no meaningful chance of recovery at that site. But we're very pleased that we were able to recover the remains of Rachel and bring some comfort to her mother.
The BC Coroner Service says all of the search crews have now left the area and will not return. Volunteers and a forensic analyst are being credited for pinpointing the best places to search in a debris field that covered more than 32 hectares. Pet lovers in Vancouver came out last night in droves to say their final goodbyes to a German Shepherd that was left for dead in a dumpster in the Kitsilano neighborhood. Hundreds of dog owners and their four-legged friends turned out on Kitts Beach to walk in support of Captain, the German Shepherd. Captain suffered a puncture wound and large cut on his head before he died. The SPCA got a search warrant to a home where the dog and its owner lived and says it was searching for a Swiss Army knife, a baseball bat, and a large link chain. Dog owners say they're horrified by the story.
We've seen on Facebook that they're having a vigil, so we wanted to come down and show support.
It's horrible. I'm here to sort of not let Captain's death be in vain.
This is too sad. And I'm a cat lover, but I love dogs too. And this is just something for him on the other side.
The owner of Captain has been arrested by Vancouver police on an unrelated criminal harassment charge. There's an online campaign that's been created to protect pets from animal abuse, and donations are pouring in. So far, close to $70,000 has been raised. Well, it isn't often that a blizzard gets a warm welcome on Vancouver Island, but today it was a treat that kept on giving. You heard the machines whirring away. Blizzard's a hot commodity in Victoria this afternoon. People satisfying their sweet tooth in support of Dairy Queen's annual Miracle Blizzard Treat Day. For every blizzard sold today, $1 is donated to the Children's Miracle Network and BC Children's Hospital.
$1 from every blizzard, as well as you can see many balloons around the restaurant that we've sold, and customers have donated $1 to write their name on. And this store, we have sold over 5,000 balloons, and we're really happy to be able to donate that money, as well as the coin canisters in the store will all be collected and provided, and we're really excited.
And thanks to all you blizzard lovers, Dairy Queen was able to raise more than $348,000 for BC Children's Hospital last year. Police drama in the middle of Douglas Street in downtown Victoria today. Officers took a man down with guns drawn this afternoon after a dispute elevated between two men on a BC Transit bus. Officers got the call to the 2600 block of Douglas Street right outside the Times-Colonist to defuse a fight that had brewed between two men. Police say it started when a man on the bus asked a woman if she could move her baby stroller so she could get by. They say she refused. The man took a picture of it with his phone. That led to an escalation of the situation. Police say the woman was upset because she thought he was taking photos of her daughter. She called her boyfriend to come and meet the man at the next stop, and that's when the brouhaha got heated.
The boyfriend arrived on Douglas Street, across from the Times-Colonist, confronted the male as he exited the bus. One of the photographs, one of the cell phone, which the verbal altercation escalated to a physical altercation as the police arrived. Two people were taken into custody and we're sort of sorting through the various versions of events.
Police say the man who arrived at the bus station was carrying a metal pipe at that bus stop. It's not known if it was used or was threatened to be used. So far, police say no charges are being recommended in the case. Well, a porpoise found stranded on a beach on the Songhees First Nation earlier this week is making a slow recovery. A family found the porpoise stranded on the beach Tuesday with wounds likely caused by the rocky shoreline. Theodore, as he is being known, is under 24-hour care at the Vancouver Aquarium. Biologists say Theodore has suffered muscle damage and is currently in a sling, unable to swim on his own. His caretakers say they are cautiously optimistic.
He is showing signs of improvement. His eyes are now open. They weren't before. He is eating fish when we offer it to him. He's opening his mouth now, so that's a great sign. He's swimming around. He's getting a little bit more tail movement. So we are seeing signs of progression, but it's still a very guarded prognosis.
Staff say they have no idea how long Theodore's recovery might take, but they say it's a good sign that he has survived the first 24 hours and made the trip to Vancouver without further distress. Well, shots were not fired, but a man did bring a gun to work today, and dozens of paper airplanes took to the sky in Nanaimo today at the second annual Wild Wings Paper Airplane Contest. It's a contest held at VMAC, a local company that engineers vehicle-mounted air compressors. Now, the rules are simple, but they are strict. The airplanes must be designed using just one piece of paper. It cannot be ripped or cut, and nothing can be added to it. The company's president was an early favorite in the competition. He has an aircraft background in engineering, but a pair of co-op students knocked him and everyone else out of the competition for longest distance flight.
In flight test earlier today, the results were good, but sadly, either my launch or the gusting wind conditions thwarted me, for this year.
Pretty basic. I don't know. I went for the biggest kind of wing surface design, kind of like the Concorde. That's what Tori came up with. But yeah, it was pretty simple, pretty cool. Worked well.
Trophies were also awarded for the longest time aloft. The most needs $5 million to get the project done. The Island Corridor Foundation is looking at island-based sources for the remaining money.
Right now that we're going to various regional districts and hoping that they may be able to contribute so much per household, maybe something like 72 cents per 100,000. That's an issue that's ongoing. Our board also has gone to the board of ICE-T, which is the provincial organization which has had the mandate of looking after $50 million to invest in economic development on the island and coastal regional. And of course, in my opinion, this would fit very well with that. And there is still money on that in that pot, although not a lot. There's about $5 million left, I believe.
The Island Corridor Foundation has said previously that construction on the line would begin this fall, with the first passenger rail service resuming on the track sometime next spring. The budget car rental fleet in Nanaimo is a little smaller tonight after two of its vehicles were damaged in a chain reaction crash. The rental agency building on Terminal Avenue was also damaged in the accident. It happened early this afternoon, just moments after a woman got behind the wheel of her newly rented SUV.
I'm told by the budget rent-a-car staff that a woman rented this Ford Expedition behind me. And prior to leaving the parking lot, she appears to accidentally have driven into a Chevy Sonic, also owned by Budget, which pushed it into the building.
No one was hurt in the accident. It's not clear whether driver error or mechanical issues are to blame, or whether the renter had ticked off the optional insurance. Well, Port Hardy's Hospital is about to begin a series of rotating shutdowns due to a shortage of doctors. From Monday until Friday next week, the hospital will be open with a doctor on duty only between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., and it'll be closed overnights. Saturdays and Sundays, it'll be open from 8 till 8 with just a nurse practitioner on site. The hospital reopens Monday, August 6th with regular doctor coverage. VHA says it's aware of the doctor shortage in Port Hardy. It's making significant efforts, it says, to recruit new physicians to the area. A 1915 home is proving that you're never too old to make a fresh start. The Edwardian-style house has stood on 37th Avenue in Vancouver for nearly a decade, but like many, it is retiring to Vancouver Island. The house was lifted this morning by Victoria-based Nickel Brothers and will be barged to Union Bay, where it will be moved onto a new lot. Dozens of paper airplanes took to the sky in Nanaimo today at the second annual Wild Wings Paper Airplane Contest. It's a contest held at VMAC, a local company that engineers vehicle-mounted air compressors. Now, the rules are simple, but they are strict. The airplanes must be designed using just one piece of paper. It cannot be ripped or cut, and nothing can be added to it. The company's president was an early favorite in the competition. He has an aircraft background in engineering. But a pair of co-op students knocked him and everyone else out of the competition for longest distance flight.
In flight test earlier today, the results were good, but sadly, either my launch or the gusting wind conditions thwarted me, for this year.
Pretty basic. I don't know. I went for the biggest kind of wing surface design, kind of like the Concorde. That's what Tori came up with. But yeah, it was pretty simple, pretty cool. Worked well.
Trophies were also awarded for the longest time aloft, the most ingenious design, and the most creative presentation. A panel of pilots from the Nanaimo Flying Club presided over the competition as judges.